Hello, this is Silvia, and in today's video I'm going to share with you my transformational story about food and 5 golden nuggets that you can use to create your own transformational story about food and the way you eat. So let's dive deeper and let's find out. Hello, it's Silvia. I'm 41. I'm a coach, I'm an intuitive oracle reader, I'm an actress, I'm a mom. And today I share my transformational story with you about food to inspire, motivate, and encourage you towards your own unique journey of transformation, wherever it is that you desire deep inside your heart. So let's start from the very beginning. My transformational story about food literally started when I was born, since the time I was born. And I was very lucky to live the first part of my life from childhood till my early 20s in a very healthy environment in the countryside. So I grew up with my grandmothers, and one in particular, she loved to cook, and I was always with her, looking at her cooking in the kitchen. We had fresh food from the garden, from the farmers around our home, and the food was always homemade. So I grew up in this environment with a passion for food and a joy in regards of food. We were used to gather all together as a family with my uncles, my parents, my grandparents, and share the joy of eating together. Very Italian stuff, by the way. So then I experienced, as I grew up, what is called emotional eating. Basically what I did, because I also spent a lot of time by my own. I didn't have a lot of children, other children like me around myself, and I was used to spend my time with older people, you know, with grandparents and people who were friends of them. So I was pretty alone as a child. And so what I was used to do, it was sit in front of the television and eating wherever I could find. It was a way for me, because I also had a very, very huge inner world, to compensate this imbalance that I had between my inner world that was very profound, very deep. I was a very emotional child, with the outer world, where I found myself alone and I didn't know how to deal with the strong emotions I had, and this world and environment I had around myself. It was very challenging for me, and so food was my escape, kind of a safe place, safe harbor, where I could pamper myself and in a certain way calm down. So this changed drastically when I went abroad. In my early 20s, I changed my life completely. I took my suitcase and I went to live abroad. And during this time, my habits in regards of food and eating changed completely. As I was used to eat fresh food and homemade food, then I passed to eat food that was packed, that was kind of junk food, sandwiches, chips, all stuff like this. Everything that I could find that was already prepared, because basically I spent all my time working. I always cultivate during this period of time my love for cooking, and as soon as I could, I went to the supermarket, I had my shopping with fresh food, and then I went back home and cook. And when I came back to my country, what I brought with me was the love for cooking, and basically it was like a heaven, because I had a home instead of having a room or sharing a space with other people. I have a home by my own, and I could go back to fully cooking and eating homemade food that I prepare myself. What unfolded for me later on, it was the yeast infection. For several years I suffered from yeast infection, and as it appeared through my body, it was very, very strong. So the first week, I drastically again changed my diet. And at that time, it was for 1 week, I cut off all the sugars and all the yeasts. So it was truly challenging for me, and my body wasn't absolutely used to this, because I was used instead to eat a lot of foods with sugar and yeast. That was a drastic change in my eating habits again, and that led to something else. The next step was for me to cut off all the white carbs, and so I substitute them with the browns. That means that all rice, pasta, bread, all things like this were brown for me. And this kind of diet, this way of eating, carry on for around 5-6 years. In these 5-6 years, I became a mother as well. I have 2 children, and at the same time, parallel with my motherhood, my personal development rise exponentially. And so basically what happened, it was that I changed my vibrational state, and I start attracting people with my same new vibrational state. And these people brought new ideas to me, new concepts to me, new ways to approach life. And one of these ways was about food. And so I started the next step for me in my diet, in my transformational journey in regards of food, by cutting off all the dairies, and then all the meat, and then all the fish. Parallel with this, I also started to use some supplements. And there is another thing to consider, that going abroad to live and going through my motherhood as well changed completely my emotional eating. It actually disappeared. Something like this. It was my new lifestyle. I didn't have any more time to sit down in front of the television and open the fridge and eat wherever I could find in there. I was so busy in creating my life that all my energies and all my focus was on that specific goal, create the life that I desired. And I was very busy with my children, with my job, with the people I had around me, with my hobbies, and all the life that I created around myself. So my emotional eating disappeared. And with this new diet I had, you need to consider that I wasn't taking any more dairies, no more meat, no more fish. I was including the supplements as well. My vibrational state raised again and again. And what happened for me is that I found out something that actually motherhood gave to me as a very powerful gift. And this is BodyTrust. I found out that there were some kind of foods that my body required in a certain moment of the day or in a certain time of my life. Could have been a season, in spring, summer, winter. And so basically I asked myself, why do I have to say no to this kind of food? No, I want to trust my body and do what my body says and eat what my body says and eat when I'm hungry, because I am truly hungry and I feel that I need to put inside myself energy and food, and wherever food it may be. So I started to trust my body more. And what I say today of myself is that I'm a BodyTrust soft vegan, because I have cut off all the dairies and I cut off the meat, but there are some days when, for example, I feel like eating fish, and that is right for me. So I have learned that what I feel to be right for me in that moment, it's good for my body, because my body, it's open, it's relaxed, and it's joyful when I introduce that food in it. So what I'm practicing is BodyTrust, listening to my body and know it within myself that whatever my body says to me, that is good for me, because our bodies hold within them a very ancient wisdom, and that is a kind of wisdom that we are often disconnected to. That is the kind of wisdom that can help us to achieve our goals in regards of the way we eat, we approach food, and we take care of our body, and finally we love ourselves. So along this process, this transformational process about the way I eat and approach food, I got some very important insights that I'm going to share with you today. 5 golden nuggets that you can apply to yourself to create your unique transformational story about food. The first one is what I call BodyTrust, and it means to eat when you feel hungry, when we feel hungry, and to eat what your body, our body, says to us. Because, as I was just saying, our body have inner wisdom, and this inner wisdom knows exactly what is the best thing to introduce in our sacred vessels for ourselves. This may seem something challenging to do. You may ask yourself, well, how can I listen to my body? How can I get messages from my body? And this requires some practice and some patience. It's just about going along with your day, and when you are starting to eat, or when you are at the supermarket and maybe you are choosing your food, just pause for a moment, go within and ask yourself, how do I feel about this food? Do I feel right? Is that all body yes? Or is there something that is disaligned? So pay attention to these elements, to these little hints, little huge hints that your body is telling you, and go ahead, follow them. The second golden nugget is customize. So personally, I went through several kinds of diets. I went through several changes, as I explained to you, and through different courses as well, with different coaches or professionals, wherever I found right for me in that very moment of my life. And what I found out is that no one is the right one absolutely for me, or no one is the wrong one absolutely for me. They are just courses, they are just diets, they are just different approaches to the way we eat food. In each one of them, we can pick what's right for us, what makes us feel good, and what we feel to be right for us, what our body again says to be right for us. So you can, choose a diet, or you can follow a course. Remember that you will find just some things into that particular course, into that particular diet, a way of eating, approaching food that is right for you. And only you know it, because this knowledge is within you and no one can tell you which one it is. So customize is the key word here. Embrace everything that comes to you, or everything that you may choose as a guide, a guidance in the way you eat, as an opportunity, and then find out in that opportunity what's truly worth it for you and only you. The third golden nugget, it's about timing. And for this, I give you an example, a practical example. I enrolled in an 8-week all body makeover, and I had a particular diet to follow. There were some meals to follow, and some movement as well, some exercises along the day. So I stayed with this program for 2 weeks, and then I found out that something wasn't clicking for me. I wasn't aligned. That was too fast for me, for my pace. So I simply slow it down. I took it in chunks. I just took again what I felt right for me, and I stayed with that. I stayed in the room with the things that were right for myself, and I kept going. And along the way, very let's say slowly, but indeed it was at my own pace. I started to introduce new supplements, new kind of foods, juices, for example, exercising, going through yoga, that for me was is actually my best way to move. And so I gave myself time. I understood that it's not because I enroll in a course of 8 weeks that I have to complete it in 8 weeks. For me, it can be 8 months, it can be 1 year, wherever it is, that is the divine time that it is meant for me. And again, we have an inner clock that is very wise and knows exactly when something is right for us. And so we can introduce it in our lifestyle. And you can recognize it because this comes suddenly very, very natural. You don't feel anymore any constrictions, any blocks, or any disalignment with this new thing that you are going to implement in your diet. You simply find that it's the right time, you are ready, and it's natural, and you are totally open to receive it into your life. So make sure to attune to your inner clock as well, divine timing. The fourth golden nugget that I have for you to support your transformational journey with food is to support yourself with professionals. It can be a nutritionist, a doctor, a coach, a personal trainer, whoever that person is for you, whoever that person you feel to be right for you, support yourself with him or her. It's very important that you feel safe, that you feel good, and that you avoid to do anything harmful for yourself, so that you love yourself by giving yourself support, assistance, encouragement, and asking for help to the right people. Again, the people that you feel to be right for yourself. And here we harness a basic concept that so many times we simply put it in a corner, and that is self-love. Remember to love yourself first of all. So what would you do when you are in that loving space to give love to yourself? Finally, the golden nuggets number 5, it's about allowing immersion. And for this, I share with you a very interesting topic. Often when we talk about food, our diet, the way we eat, we talk about losing weight. So let's change this concept, because let's be honest, who does want to lose something, to lose parts of ourselves? And this losing concept may be triggering for us. We may want just to keep everything with us because we feel that that part belongs to us. Instead, we can see the whole things from a different point of view, from a 180-degree opposite approach. Let's let our inner goddess to emerge, and let's nourish the concept of letting that bright and shining and sensual inner goddess that lives and jewels within ourselves to come out, to show herself to the world, to shine, to rise, and to bloom. In regards of myself, for example, I am focused on this. I am attuning each and every day with my inner goddess. I am talking to her. I am connecting with her. I'm having a dialogue with her. And I ask her, what would you do? What would you eat? How would you feel? How would you behave? And then I simply act according to the guidance of my inner goddess. And I let her each and every day to show up more and more, to be me more and more, until we merge and we are the very same person. Because everything we desire, it's already here available for us, just hidden somewhere in some very dark and inner corner of ourselves. So what we do by opening up and relaxing and breathing into it, it's to let these things, this treasure that we have within us, to emerge. So wrapping up this video about the transformational story of mine about food, I just want to say that I am sharing it to encourage you, to inspire you, and to motivate you towards your own and unique transformational story. Remember that you are unique, and so each one of us is basically going through the very same path that is the life path on this planet Earth. However, each one of us is walking it in its own unique way. And along this way, beyond the 5 golden nuggets that I share with you, you will find for sure other insights that are unique and important for you and only you. And they will serve the brightest version of yourself. They will nourish it so that it will emerge with ease and joy. This is a perpetual transformation. We are all transforming each and every day. What changes? It's the awareness we have of it. And the more aware we are, the more powerful transformations we can create for our own life. So happy journey, and now a call to action for you. What you can do is to contact me privately when you want some support to go through your personal transformations. And then I invite you to check my course Heartstorming. It will help you tremendously to go through a very profound transformation of your life based on the power of your heart. Finally, thank you very much for watching my videos, for sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much again. I love you all, and I see you